You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. This year, we saw an increase in the confidence that African-American business owners have in the state of small business given the current political climate, according to a recent study. A lack of access to capital and cash flow, the biggest challenge for African-American small business owners and potential startups. The African-American Chamber of Fund, founded earlier this year with an initial investment of $10 million by world business lenders, they've arranged to make that money available in initial loans for African-American Chamber of Commerce members. Joining me with the details are Archbishop David Billings III, Fund Vice Chair for the African-American Chamber Fund, and Derrick Chambers, Executive Director. All right, folks, first of all, we're talking about, obviously, $10 million. African-American Chamber Fund, okay, is that to Black Chamber Inc., Black Chamber of Commerce, or is this a separate entity?
Say that again.
I said this African Chamber Fund, is it a separate entity, or is it tied to an existing group like the U.S. Black Chamber Inc., or some other black business group?
It's a separate entity unto itself. It will partner with people that it can get money from, but it's a separate entity. It has its own board and its own officers.
Okay, and then so on a money of this initial investment, $10 million from World Business Lenders. What is World Business Lenders?
World Business Lenders is a company out of New Jersey that's been actually doing work with the local community across the United States and even across the world. The head of that organization, Doug Natus, has offered to give the Afro-American Fund, Chamber Fund, $10 million to start with, and of course we accepted that. He's a part of the fund board of directors, and we're doing it deliberately because we want to help minority entrepreneurs in the community that's being turned away by the institutional banks.
Let me ask you this question, okay? This is the African American Chamber Fund. Are you helping minority companies or black companies?
Black company mainly, but we're not turning away minorities.
So I'm curious there, though, because when we look at what's happening with black businesses in this country, we have 2.6 million black-owned businesses. And, of course, and also, first of all, Derrick, I want to target this to you. There are 2.6 million black-owned businesses in America. 2.5 million of those have one employee. They're doing an average revenue of around $54,000. Now, several years ago, we had 1.9 million black-owned businesses with 1.8 million having one employee. They were doing an average revenue of $110,000. So, Derrick, why not make it specific to African-American businesses?
Yes, Roland, and that's a great point. And to kind of go off of what Archbishop Billings was talking about, our initiative really was built out of really joining with the African-American Chambers of Commerce around the country and forming these affiliations to help, one, to help us understand the community and understand some of those statistics that you just pointed out, and two, to start a process of transparency and disclosure to make the low-cost capital accessible.
And so how will this work? If you're a company out there and you're interested, how do you apply? How do they reach you? What's the process?
So the process really is, as I mentioned, we form alliances or affiliations with chambers of commerce. For example, we have an affiliation with the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey and Trenton. Recently, we formed an affiliation with the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce. And so basically, we advocate that the members of those chambers, that we're working hand in hand with with those particular chambers of commerce. That way, the chambers help us identify and create a process to where their members have access to capital. And so we start the conversation right there, but we started working with those chambers of commerce so that we understand the community and make sure that we're addressing the needs adequately.
Bishop, is there a limit in terms of the size of the business, in terms of revenue or employees who can actually apply for this capital? And is there a limit on how much capital? And what is it? $250,000, $500,000, $1 million, $2 million? What is it?
We're trying to start. We probably start loans at about 20,000, going up to, I guess, 2 million. But yes, we are targeting, and we don't put a number on the employees or the how many people are working there. As long as they've got a business and they're thriving in the community or want to thrive or want their business to grow, then we're interested in giving them funds. One of the things that I think is very important is that the institutional banks today, which are turning down the majority of Afro-American and minority companies, they will never be able to get off the ground or continue their business or even take it at another level if they don't get the capital. And so that's why the Afro-American Chamber Fund is very interested in trying to make sure that they get capital to get ahead. They cannot grow a business. You know it, Roland, as well as anyone else. If you don't have any capital, you can't grow a business. You can't grow anything here in the United States or any place else without capital. And of course, we can have creative minds, which we have, and we have avenues, but we don't have capital to keep those things going.
Derrick, will this be loans? Will this be grants? And if it's loans, what's the interest rate? What's the payback?
Yes, it's definitely a loan process. And so we really start the conversation around, particular situations. So you look at the interest rates, we look at someone's background. For example, in the past, there's been difficulties in our community with people going into, some of the traditional type modes and having pushback. So we really start the conversation with, identifying what their situation is, and we really cater to their given situation, and really try to start the process there, and that will determine, what we look like in terms of the interest rate.
All right, then. How can folks get more information? Where do they go?
They can go to African American Chamber Fund, which is aachamberfund.com. That will lead them to the process, and then obviously they'll see information on our board, and they'll see information on me as executive director. But that's how they start the process, aachamberfund.com.
All right, then. Well, Bishop, we certainly appreciate you joining us. Derrick, we thank you as well.
Thank you. One of the things I want to throw in, I think is important, that the Afro-American Chamber Fund the interest rate will be lower than any of the rates going on out there. So that's important.
Okay. All right. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roland.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, folks, back to that Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. So let's talk about home for the holidays. It's almost that time. The holiday season is, of course, a lot of our favorite time of the year. But whether you celebrate Thanksgiving, Ramadan, Christmas, Kwanzaa, or New Year's, this is when you think about spending time with the people you love the most. This is also the time to count your blessings and support those less fortunate and look at how you can have an impact on their lives. Well, I have the perfect opportunity for you to be a holiday hero and have a major impact on other families. Here's the deal. Right now, hundreds of thousands of Americans are sitting in jail without being convicted of a crime. Why? Because they lack the financial resources to pay their bail. Now think about it. If you're arrested for any minor offense, you will be taken directly to jail. You don't have money, whether it's a few $100, $1,000, you will stay there until a court date is scheduled. That could mean days, weeks, or even months as a result of this crazy criminal justice system. America's bail system, folks, is broken and has created a two-tier system of justice. One for the haves and one for the have-nots. Freedom should be free. And that's why the Ebony Foundation is partnered with the Bail Project and is sponsoring the Home by the Holiday campaign. With your help, the goal is to bail out 1,000 people by New Year's Day. How's that for a holiday gift? A donation from you today can change someone's life tomorrow. Here's why it's critical. People of color represent 50 to 90% of the jail population across the country. When they stayed in jail, 90% of the people with misdemeanors ended up pleading guilty. However, when bail was paid, 50% of the cases were dismissed and less than 2% received a jail sentence. In essence, people are just trying to get out of jail, and they're saying, look, I'll take any deal. Folks, sometimes justice needs just us to join the fight. Be a holiday hero and donate $25, $50, or more to help the Ebony Foundation bring our brothers and sisters home by the holidays. To donate, go to homebytheholiday.com, homebytheholiday.com. You see the website right there, homebytheholiday.com. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.